Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do the YouTube tag created by Annette's Corner called the 10 palettes. And essentially what it is if you only could choose 10 palettes out of your collection, what would they be and why? So if you'd like to see what 10 palettes I chose, please keep on watching. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and stay a while. We're going to jump in. I wanted to do this tag because I thought it was real cool, and the fact that Annette came up with it. If you don't know who Annette is, I'll leave her video link down below, but check her channel out while you're there. She comes up with some amazing things on her channel. She's got a lot of things going on, and she uploads every day. I can't do that. Anybody that can upload every day, seriously, I don't know how y'all doing it. Anyways, we're going to get started. And the first palette that I chose was by Urban Decay, the Born to Run palette. This is what she looks like. Guys, I love this palette. Urban Decay will always, always, always hold a special place in my heart, no matter. This palette, I love it. The fact that you got some neutrals, and then you can go a little deeper into some oranges and the pops of purples and pops of blues and greens. FYI, guys, any palette that's going to have cranberries, oranges, that is my jam. To me, it makes blue eyes pop. Alright guys, I just wanted to say too, I'm not going in any order, any rhyme or reason. I just grabbed 10 palettes. This was hard to pick. So in my opinion, they're all on the same level for different reasons, of course, but not saying this is palette 1, this is palette 2, I just grabbed a bunch, we're going. The next one I picked was Montage Beauty palette. Guys, if you are a person with aging eyes, this palette is everything. You have your mattes, sequins, metallics, and glitters. The fact that this palette covers all of it is amazing. And Tati really killed it with this formula. I have never had a glitter to do how her glitters, look at that. And to say, oh, well, you got 1,000 glitters. No, when this is on the eye, it stays put. It don't move. You don't even really need a adhesive to make it stay. It's there. The fact that she pulled that off without it being dry and crackly and pasty is amazing. This palette is awesome. It blends like yesterday's news. Alright, the next palette that I chose was the So Jaded palette from Colourpop. Guys, this was another nice palette that Colourpop did. This was in collab with Kathleen Lights. I really, really enjoy this palette. When I ordered this palette, I was riding in the middle of town, and I told my husband, hold on, pull over, we gotta get this launch, and I am glad that I did. She has some glitter too. I would suggest that you use a little bit of adhesive with these, but this palette, the fact that she's got this in it, what palette? I have never seen a palette have that light purple like that lilac. It is so pretty. I need to do another tutorial with this using these and that lilac. It also has a super shock shadow. Guys, if you are new to Colourpop and you have not able to try a good range, you know, their super shock shadows, pressed shadow, la la la. This is the palette to pick up so you can get a well-balanced. Not saying that Colourpop doesn't in their other palettes, because they do, but this offers so much. Do you imagine if I went through my whole collection talking about each palette? God, we'd be here for dang 2 weeks. Alright, no, this is palette number 4, and I chose the Moonspell palette by Manny MUA's Lunar Beauty. Guys, this palette, I love this palette. Not to mention the packaging, but the palette itself, you get a lot of purpley, I don't know, green looks out of it, but I love his formula. I did get a chance to pick up his other palette. The Goddess palette was sent to me in one of the boxes. I haven't tried it yet. I want to do it on camera. But this, I don't know if this is because this was the first palette I tried from him, but I really, really, really love his formula. And the fact that he put some neutrals in here to keep it every day, I really, really enjoyed that too. All right, palette number 5 is going to be, can you guys guess? It's going to be Jeffree Star's Blood Sugar palette. Guys, if I know you guys have seen this a million and one times. I mean, you've probably seen all of these palettes a million and one times, but to me, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, anybody can pull this off. It looks great on all skin tones. But if you have hazel or blue or green eyes, this palette is for you, I promise. It just makes a blue and a green eye really pop with the reds. That's just me now. But this palette, I love Jeffree Star's stuff, any palette that he has anyways, because he's unique in the colors that he makes. You won't find anything else like his elsewhere. That's why I really, really love Jeffree Star stuff. But this was the one that I chose out of my collection to say, okay, Jeffries, blah, blah, is in my 10 palette. I love this palette, guys. All these palettes I love, but this is probably my all-time favorite out of all of them. Just purely because of, like I said, the color scheme and his uniqueness to each shade. All right, guys, we got to throw it back a little bit on number 6 because I had to have this in here. Guys, I really, really contemplated on buying this when I first got it, and now that I own it, I'm glad that I have it because it's just a good little topper to go on any eyeshadow look that you have going on. Even if it's just a plain brown look, bronzy look, you can come back over the top with one of these and it totally transforms the look, and I love that about this palette. The palette that I chose out of my collection is the Queen of Hearts by Colored Rain. Guys, I know this palette's been out for a while, but I really, really love this palette. This palette is so, so pretty on blue eyes. Like I said earlier, the pops of orange and the cranberry colors, and I don't know, it just does something for me. I really, really love this palette. Formula on this is buttery, buttery soft. I mean, you can't, look at that. I didn't ever have a chance to try Colored Rain, and whenever I finally got a chance, like, I wanted to go on a Colored Rain binge. The next palette that I am going to mention, you guys will probably all laugh, and that's totally fine because, well, if one thing you should know, Kel don't care. The Mani MUA palette, I am new to this palette, as we all are, but in my opinion, if I had to choose any palettes outside of the Jeffree Star, the next lineup would be this one. And the reason why is because it is a complete palette. It has all of the neutrals that you would ever need to pull off an everyday look, as well as your highlighters. And guys, even if you don't like the shimmer shades in this palette, those highlighters, in my opinion, would make an awesome shimmer all over the lid shade. But I have been enjoying this palette. And if you guys have a chance to pick it up, I know a lot of people are like, I'm not a Mani supporter, I hate Morphine. This palette, and maybe you do, I won't push anybody down for having their own thoughts. But in my opinion, this palette is the perfect travel palette. With it being well-rounded, every shade that you need, plus the highlighters, it just serves for a space saver in the suitcase, if that makes sense. All right, number 9, palette number 9. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, guys. The palette that I chose out of my Juvias Place was the Tribe palette, and that's what she looks like. Guys, I love this palette. When I first got it, I just wanted to go ham with it. I am for the uniqueness, like this shade. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on camera, but it is like it appears white in the pan, right? But it has such a cast, a green cast to it, like a goldy green. I love it. But I really, really have been enjoying this palette since I've gotten it. Like I said, the oranges really makes my eyes pop, so you know I'm all about it. And so my Juvias collection is growing, and to sit and pick one Juvias Place palette was very, very hard to do. And Juvias Place's formula is out of this world. If you haven't had a chance to pick one up, there are a ton of sales going on right now. Trust me, you want to pick one up, even if it's one of their neutral palettes. Their formula is like nothing else I have in my collection. I can tell you that. And the last palette that I chose, certainly not least, is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, the first one. Very well loved, as you guys can see. This palette, Morphe, like this, the formula they done with this is different from any other Morphe palette that I have ever tried. The other palette that I really like from Morphe is the 35M palette, but this formula, they really, really killed it when they made this palette. I know a lot of people are not fans of Jaclyn Hill's, and this isn't about the people behind it, it is about the product, and this product is fire. I mean, to say there's a lot of uniqueness to this palette, not really, but there is a lot of go-to looks that you can create with this palette and not even really have to think about it. Like I said earlier, I know I keep repeating myself, but the red colors, the orangey, like that's the ones that I gravitate to for myself. I think that they really did a nice job on this, and I really wish that Morphe would do more of like this. But the Jaclyn Hill, the first palette, really, really was a nice palette. And I almost stopped, you know, the palette that I bought before this Jaclyn Hill palette was the 35O palette. I didn't like that palette. I'm probably the only one on planet Earth that didn't like that palette. But I had a friend reach out and say, no, you need to try the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I bought it that day, and I loved it. I've been loving it ever since. Alright guys, I guess that's it for me and my 10 palettes. Annette, thanks for making this tag. I had fun doing it. If you guys would like to get in on and show some of your top 10 picks, let me know that you're going to do it, because I'd love to come and watch your stuff. Don't forget to give my video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next video.